Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself on a warm spring eve as the sun sets into the horizon and the glowing flames from a rising bonfire creep across the darkening landscape. Music fills the air, the sound of voice and rhythm notes cascade through you as your feet walk bare across the cool grass. Soon, you join the shadows of dancing bodies, flickering in and out of focus through the firelight. Your voice soon joins alongside theirs as you whisper, "Blessed Beltane." Hey there, spooky friends, and welcome to Let's Talk Spooky, the show where folklore creeps out of the shadows and stories dance around firelight. I'm your host, Shauna, and tonight we're stepping into the glowing heart of an ancient celebration, Beltane. As the frost fades and the earth stirs awake, Beltane, pronounced Beltane or Beltane, arrives with smoke, sparks, and whispers from another world. It's one of the oldest Celtic festivals, rooted in fire, fertility, and magic. And today, we're going to uncover its ancient secrets. So gather close, light a candle, and let's talk spooky. Beltane is a Celtic festival also known as Clan May, traditionally celebrated on the night of April 30th into May 1st. It marks the beginning of summer and the end of the darkness of the winter months. Sitting almost exactly opposite to Samhain on the wheel of the year, it holds much of the same superstitions, as it's said to be the veil between worlds at its most thin on these nights. Where they differ, however, is Samhain, also known modern day as Halloween, honors the dead. Beltane honors life, fertility, and the sacred union of masculine and feminine energies. It's all about abundance, passion, and wild forces of nature. Though the festival saw its popularity fade with the rise of Christianity, even being outlawed for a short period of time in England between 1644 and 1660, many modern rejuvenations of the festival have gained popularity once more, honoring and reimagining some of its early customs. Traditionally, two large bonfires were kindled atop of a hill across Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of Man. People drove cattle between these two fires to purify them and bring prosperity. Couples leapt over the flames together. It's both as a blessing and, if we're being honest, probably a bit of a thrill too, I'm sure. Many brides tussled wildflowers such as hawthorn flowers, also known as mayflowers, through their hair, as well as incorporated these flowers into their handfast ceremonies to bring fertility, luck, and prosperity to the marriage. The use of this flower can also be tied to several ancient healing practices, which we may cover in another episode. Alongside fire rituals, the Maypole would often be placed as a representation of male fertility phallic, which was decorated in brightly colored ribbon as well as hawthorn flowers, which were woven into a crown-shaped piece and placed atop the pole as a representation of the female reproductive organs. Then individuals taking part in the ceremony would dance around the Maypole, weaving the colorful ribbons in and out as they intertwined down the length of the pole, and welcoming and blessing the fertility of the season. But Beltane isn't just about bonfires and maypoles. It was about something much older as well. In Celtic beliefs, Beltane is one of the nights where the fairies were said to roam freely. And no, we're not talking about the glittery kind of fairies, and if you're imagining the beloved Disney Tinkerbell, I was right there with you. But no, we're talking about old world fairies, mischievous, powerful, and not so kind by nature. It was said that if you wandered too far from the firelight on a Beltane eve, you might find yourself lured away by the fae. Because of this, offerings were left for the spirits to keep them pleased. Bowls of bread, milk, and wildflowers were placed upon thresholds of homes and sacred trees. Farmers would tie rowan branches over their barns and hang yellow flowers like primrose or marigold to protect the livestock, household, and all inside from enchantments and mischief. It was common knowledge that at this time you were not supposed to sleep without salt next to your bed. You were never to whistle at night, and if you heard music somewhere deep in the bowels of the forest, you were never supposed to follow it. There's an old English legend of a woman who lived alone at the end of a forest. For many years, on Beltane Eve, she would leave a bowl of cream at her doorstep, an offering to the fae, just as her grandmother had always taught her. But one year, she forgot. The next morning, her garden was withered, her chickens wouldn't lay, and her cow's milk had dried up. Desperate, she went into the forest and placed honey and lavender by the fairy ring, whispering an apology. That night, she dreamt of glowing eyes, dancing firelight, and laughing in a language she didn't know. When she woke, her cow's milk had returned, her chickens once again were laying, and the garden was awake with life. From that year on, she never forgot. Whether the story, superstition, or maybe something more, who's to say? But it is also believed that cunning folk such as witches and shamans were at their most powerful at this time. So it was probably best to be kind to one's neighbors, because you never know, and you didn't really want to be hexed. So whether you dance barefoot in the grass, lighting a single candle to remember, Beltane is a time of year that is full of fire, magic, and where the natural world is bursting with life, and the unseen world may be closer than you think. Thank you for joining me on this very first episode of Let's Talk Spooky. If you've enjoyed this and you'd like to dive into more, please hit that follow button, leave a review, as it helps our spooky souls find one another. And as always, stay curious, stay safe, and stay spooky. Until next time.